Our special guest for tonight is somebody who has been called a divine scientist. He has been a teacher for more than 50 years now. He recently celebrated his 50 years of teaching at the age of 79. His awards, there are 63 on the list. He has been highly decorated. In the year 1987 for his contributions to the field of chemical engineering. He was given a Padma Bhushan, and in the year 2001 he was decorated with the Padma Vibhushan. He is the fellow of the Royal College. He is the fellow of so many other colleges as well, a celebrated academician, a teacher par excellence, and we have the pleasure of having him here today. May I request Professor M.M. Sharma to please address us on this August gathering. A big round of applause for Sir.
Om Shanti, colleagues on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. Your title is very appealing, and I should like to say, first of all, compliment the organization for having such a splendid environment which invigorates you. Power of the past. How has that power of the past come from? It has come from teachers, researchers, social reformers, and mystics. Go back to history and you will find that this has been the case. And the same will be true for the force of the future. And your acronym will come handy because you will need a spark to really have force of the future. You need a spark. I've been a teacher for lifetime, as you have been told. What is our job? Our job is to transmit thoughts to disbelieving students, inspire them. And when they know that you are honest, self-effacing, and your sole job is to uplift them rather than look for personal favors. And therefore, teacher plays a very big role in molding the future. If you go back to the writings of all Nobel laureates, most of them would have said how they got inspired by a teacher in the school or a college in the university. Universities are great centers for creating new ideas, and we like to believe that we have spiritual freedom to pursue our goals. I like to only just quote two examples to draw inspiration. First, you had the pleasure of hearing from medical people, but human body is truly an outstanding example to give you inspiration, whether it is memory system, whether it is infinitely variable pump in heart, whether it is liver, or whether it is the most successful membrane separation through kidneys, which RO is not even an apology. On the other hand, you have nature, which produces this bizarre range of colors, fragrances. Most complicated syntheses are done under ambient conditions by nature, whether it is Taxol for cancer, whether it is simple menthol, Thandak that you take. How crafty is nature? How nature is able to produce rubber at ambient conditions? How a silkworm is able to give you fiber? All these are sources of inspiration. Now, in research, what matters? Ideas matter. And if you listen to the commentary of people like Einstein or Newton, finally, you solve a problem or do some discoveries through intuition. Now, what is this intuition and how does this intuition come? It comes through spiritual practices, through meditation. There may be different ways of doing this. But it is through that approach that you are able to solve intractable problems. And in science, when you come out with brilliant ideas, at that time, you are not bothered about what will be the applications. We have Dr. Hosur with us. When NMR came, nuclear magnetic resonance, they didn't know that before long, apart from getting 6 Nobel Prizes, that a person in the street would talk of MRI. Person in the street today talks of so many things. See how DNA, even TV serials will tell you, baap kaun hai, DNA nikalo. You know, so science has done great things. But science can also be destructive because there was a reference to nuclear power. Nuclear power is very good, but nuclear power can also be used for destructive purposes. Explosives are required for mining, but explosives can do great harm. So I like to just quote one or two things for want of time as I have been advised. One is that Einstein said, science without religion is lame and religion without science is blind. I am a great admirer of Swami Vivekananda. And Swami Vivekananda was able to combine mysticism with rationalities of science. He always subjected himself to arguments. In his famous statement with Ramakrishna, have you seen God? And he got an answer. So you need that kind of introspection, that kind of self-analysis to arrive at rational conclusions. It is infinitely grander and better to know the laws that govern the passion, the feelings, the will of the mankind. Why do we feel depressed? Of course, you may have drugs to get over depression. America is a great market for anti-depression to drugs for various reasons, even though it is the most prosperous nation. And that how yoga is now picking up so well, even in a country like USA. Ladies and gentlemen, much more can be said. I should like to compliment this organization for assembling so many people on a common platform, and I wish them very great future. Thank you.